William, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me, Ainsley. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So, how did you end up getting into barbecuing? How did you end up getting into firefighting?
Just this last week, it was my 18th year. I started cooking. I didn't know how to cook anything. I couldn't even make a grilled cheese when I first started cooking, when I first got into the firehouse. And then I got to the fire department when I was 24. I kind of fell in love with cooking there. Our firehouse is right in the heart of Little Italy of the Bronx. So we have the best butchers, delis, everything there. So I always just enjoyed cooking and learning there, and so I've been cooking for about 18 years, and I love it.
As a Bronx firefighter and a pitmaster, what's actually hotter? A Bronx summer barbecue or your average day at the firehouse?
Good question. Probably a day in the Bronx at the firehouse. A little crazier down there sometimes. Yeah, I would say that. But as a as a person who loves to barbecue and stuff like that, it gets hot up here too.
Absolutely. You get those fumes with that nice lump charcoal.
Of course, hickory
Yeah.
wood. Nothing. There's no better smell.
Okay, so in your days at the firehouse, what's the weirdest emergency meal you've had to MacGyver together?
I'd have to say what we call an Italian 88. I work in Engine 88 in the Bronx, and it's a grilled chicken with some of the best things that come from Little Italy, Arthur Ave. So we would put our fresh mozzarella on from Casa della Mozzarella on 187th Street. We would throw some sun-dried peppers on from Title Brothers, and we would throw domestic or imported prosciutto from Title Brothers as well. And we put it on a nice hero from Adio's or Madonia Bakery. And all those places are right there on Arthur Avenue and 187th Street. We put that all together with a balsamic glaze.
Ooh.
And you have one of the best Italian sandwiches you can have.
You're known for pulling together Italian, Mexican, and barbecue classics. Was there a dish that you tried to make the first time that was just a total disaster?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It kind of sounds like you actually might have been talking to some of the firefighters that I work with. The first meal I ever made was probably the worst one, but guy still remembers to this day. It was a grilled cheese with honey and apples on it, and it didn't come out good at all.
So, how has growing up a block away from Arthur Avenue shaped your approach?
Basically, I just fell in love with food and cooking there. All the great things there, and then I also fell in love with barbecue because it's just another style of cooking that I love. I love hanging out in my backyard with family and friends. I love cooking, and I think barbecue, and I also like to have a few drinks. So
Mhm.
I think there's no better. To me, the best food or cuisine to do that is barbecue. Go in the backyard. I put on my smoker, and sometimes it'll be pork the night before. Sometimes it'll be ribs from the morning, and always a homemade barbecue sauce. We do our homemade pickles, homemade coleslaw. But that to me is like the best way to eat. So from Italian to barbecue to Mexican, American, continental, I love all types of food and cooking. Barbecue is just the style that I love the most because, like I said, I'm an outdoors guy. I like to sit in my backyard, which is where I am right now, and hang out with family and friends, have a few bourbons, a few drinks. It could be red wine with Italian food. It could be bourbon or whiskey with barbecue.
Mhm.
I like it all. So it's yeah, barbecue
Yeah.
Italian doesn't matter.
So, do you have any not so secret ingredient that you use all the time?
Our pickles, people love our pickles.
Okay.
Everybody, um, to me, homemade pickles is one of the easiest things you can do, but it's also so much different than a store-bought jar of pickles. And my main ingredient that I think that everybody loves would be honey. I put honey in at the end of it. I
Oh.
simmer, boil the apple cider vinegar with the pickling spice, sugar, salt. But at the end, I throw in honey, and to me, I think it gives it a flavor that I don't get in other people's pickles. And I
Yeah.
think our clients and customers always notice one of those. That's probably something that makes it the way it is. My other favorite thing that I didn't even know about till I got into barbecue was Alabama barbecue sauce. It's a mayo-based barbecue sauce, and
Okay.
it's become one of my favorite things. And in New York, like, barbecue's big I get barbecue's big anywhere, but
Yeah.
like I didn't know about it, and every time I serve it to our clients or customers, they've never known what Alabama barbecue sauce is. And to me, it's one of my favorite barbecue sauces. We put it on our hickory smoked chicken. You could put it on pulled pork. You could put it on any kind of barbecue, really. But that's probably my other favorite sauce that we make. We make it homemade with mayo, apple cider vinegar, horseradish,
Wow.
sugar, and it always comes out phenomenal, and our customers always love it.
What does cooking with love mean to you when you're serving a tent full of people or just a bunch of hungry firefighters with big appetites?
That's a good question. Cooking with love is taking the extra time that other people don't do.
Hmm.
Basically, when I smoke the food, when I cook our pickles, a lot of companies, they go the easy route. They go to the store, they go to Restaurant Depot, they buy everything store bought. A lot of people don't know the difference until they've had something homemade with love. So you can take two separate parties. One party, you can cook it the way other people do it, or buy macaroni salad, potato salad from a jar, pickles from a jar. And a lot of people won't notice and they'll think it's good. But then when you serve those same people with pickles that are homemade, coleslaw dressing that's homemade, home smoked barbecue, all that stuff that I was just talking about, when you make your own barbecue sauces, that's when that's cooking with love, taking the extra time, and people notice that.
Okay, so how does food and specifically outdoor grilling help bring people together?
Gets people together, getting people sitting around the table together, talking, rubbing elbows. Food brings everybody together. There's one common thing that, everybody loves and everybody likes is a good meal. I've never met anybody who doesn't like a good meal. That's one thing everybody's the same in that way, if you ask me. Eating and having a good meal together is a good excuse to get together with family and friends. And it's always, it always brings people together.
Always something to celebrate when they're great food.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And anytime people want to celebrate big accomplishments and, big years or big days for people, they always want to do it with a good meal in front of them and some drinks.
As you've grown as a pitmaster, what are some things that you wish people realized about being a pitmaster that you don't think many people know about?
All the time and effort behind. So like when I show up to parties, I have my food smoked already, and I'm basically just reheating my pulled pork or my ribs on the grill. People don't realize that it takes 12 hours to smoke a pork butt. It takes 7 hours to smoke ribs. And when you're doing it in bulk, you're doing it for 75 to 150 people. It's basically the day before is complete chaos. And it's become more organized chaos, I should say, because I've kind of narrowed it down how to figure it. But when I first started doing it, it was chaos. Now it's organized chaos. The day of prep is always the longest and most stressful because you want to make sure that your product is worth every cent that the person's paying for. People work hard for their money, and I don't want anybody to ever feel like they didn't get what they paid for. And that's why I put in all the love and the time into it. And my confidence has also grown a lot with it because taking that extra time and putting that extra love, people are always happy with our products.
Yep, definitely the time and effort, and you have to monitor that. It's not just set it, forget it.
It doesn't go over 300 degrees or under 200. You want it anywhere between 225 and 275 is the perfect low, slow, and slow. And if it gets lower or higher, I don't cook electric and I don't use propane. I use everything as wood like they did thousands of years ago, Electric, I don't think gets enough smoke on the barbecue, and propane can also give a little bit of a gas kind of a taste. So this is an all natural wood hickory smoke, and that's part of the cooking with love,
This isn't a turkey and cheese you can just throw together at the deli.
Yeah, someone put a lot of love into it at some point.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you can eat one meat for the rest of your life: brisket, ribs, or pork.
I would say one of my favorite. Can I say two things or
No, you get one.
just one? Man,
I
I'd
mean,
have to go with our hickory smoked ribs and with our homemade pickles on the
ooh,
side and slaw.
okay.
With our, I would either do our Kansas City barbecue sauce or our bourbon barbecue sauce. We have a Basil Hayden barbecue that I use.
Ooh, basil
I would
Hayden.
have to say, yeah, I'd have to say our hickory smoked baby back ribs with pickles on the side and our coleslaw with our Kansas City barbecue sauce on top. Smoked for 6 to 7 hours. And yeah, that would probably be my favorite.
That sounds awesome. If you can only eat one, I get why you're picking that one. Yeah,
Yeah, it always comes out good and something I love eating.
I love ribs.
Big
Me
fan
too.
of
How
it.
can you not, right? How can you be a fan of barbecue and not?
They're hard to do though. You really have to know what you're doing.
You know, low and slow is important, but full off the bone. I don't want it to be full off the bone. I want to have a little bit of a bite to it. Like anybody
Like a
could just
beef
set
rib.
it and forget it and leave it alone, and then it just falls off the bone. And yeah, it's great, and that's how a lot of restaurants do it. But I like a little bit of a pull to it. But yeah, and a nice meaty rib. It's got to be St. Louis pork ribs for me.
Okay.
I think they have the most meat. Baby backs are good too, but I prefer St. Louis. Yeah, that's what I would go with.
So, which food festival would you love to crash with your smoker?
We were just at the barbecue festival up in Port Jervis. It was a championship competition up there. That was cool. I enjoy the Pleasantville Music Festival every year because we get to see some different types of bands all the time. So I really love going there. I've seen some awesome acts there. The Whalers, who are associated with Bob Marley. The Narrowbacks, who are a local Irish band in the Bronx, Woodlawn. They've had a lot of good bands. And then they've had more commercial guys like Everclear, Blues Traveler in the past. So I really love music, and I always have a good time at Pleasantville Music Festival.
Okay, so if you were in the barbecue Olympics, who is in your dream team, your dream pit crew?
My dream guys would be Guy Fieri, 100% Guy Fieri. I love him. I love his attitude, and he basically helped me. I learned so much about recipes from watching his show. Obviously, I did a lot of reading. Most of it is experience, how to learn how to cook and stuff like that, but a lot of reading. But I would say Guy Fieri would be my favorite. I love that guy.
Yeah, who better? I mean, he had a whole barbecue line and everything.
He's amazing. I would also have to say Anthony Bourdain was amazing. He was a guy that I always loved watching, his appreciation for food and culture and people. I think that's basically what barbecue is all about. And his shows always put all that there. And I would say those two guys for sure. And maybe one or two guys from the Firehouse that really know how to cook, that I learned from how to cook. I would put all of us together, and I think we would be able to crush some awesome barbecue.
When you get that good communication going too. Yeah, that team mentality. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a dream team right there.
Yeah, I mean, you put some of the best who are well known, and then I think there's also people out there who are just as good as, who could be just as good as those big names, and they're just, they're just normal people like me, people who were living, they just cook for their family at home, and they were born and raised on cooking, and they're amazing cooks, and they're just not on TV.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Only their family is tasting their wonderful meals.
Right. Yeah. Like, whereas if people out there, a lot of people in the world who taste it, like, wow, it's amazing.
Right.
Okay, so you got 14 hours, a Kamado grill, and a red hot challenge. What's an unexpected dish that you would make that would blow people's minds?
Unexpected dish. I would have to go with our barbecue Cuban. I would go with a pulled pork, hickory smoked pulled pork. I would get a ham, and I would smoke that along with it. I would throw some Swiss cheese, get some good Swiss cheese from Arthur Avenue in Little Italy, the Bronx. I would make my own sauerkraut, braised cabbage, with either our Alabama BBQ sauce that I was talking about, or our Carolina mustard gold barbecue sauce, which is a mustard-based sauce. Yeah, I think I would do. That's one of the things where I've done it at the Firehouse once and got really good reviews. Those guys they're like my guinea pigs.
Sure.
I've done that. I would have to say, yeah, that would be probably, I would pulled pork with the smoked ham, Swiss cheese, homemade sauerkraut with our Carolina Gold mustard barbecue sauce, and yeah, our barbecue Reuben.
Yeah.
Cool. So, William, where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, we are at
Yeah.
our Instagram handles, Fox Street BBQ and Grill. I got Fox Street because it was the street my dad was born and raised on in the Bronx, right behind Fort Apache. So it was a little honor to my dad. That's our Instagram handle, Fox Street BBQ and Grill. Our email is Fox Street BBQ and Grill at outlook.com. And we're on Instagram and email, basically.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're out there. Yeah, so
Awesome.
love
Yeah.
chatting,
So yeah.
love meeting new people, and love cooking barbecue. I'm gonna keep doing it till the day I die, hopefully. So
Fantastic. I totally agree. Take care, William.
thanks, Ainsley. Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with you,
Absolutely.
and I had a blast. You're one of the people that it was great. It was great to meet you, and this is what it's all about.